That man didn't get fired for butter and no biscuits.
Don Julio's a great brand. Popeye is also a great brand. It was not on my 2025 bingo card for them to collab.
I think I was just naive. I thought what was happening in mine. I thought that was happening across the nation.
That's one thing about social media. People who be hating still be fans.
I've been asked for these recipes for years.
Imagine a grocery store you can go to where you're not getting profiled. You know what I'm saying? That just sound fire to me. Just that alone does already sound like a win. Like, this is America, baby. We throw away masks because it don't feel right.
You're my special friend.
Welcome, guys, back to another episode of the Special Friends Podcast. It's your boy Wuzi, and I'm here with
Eareoke.
And we back with another one. Thank you guys for tuning in, as always. Happy Black History Month. Big claps.
Yes. I'm sorry for my people. You know, every day is Black History for us, but, you know, it's excited to like all come together in one time and really celebrate.
Do you remember last time we was doing a podcast on Black History Month? Do you remember what you was talking about last time?
What was we talking about?
You was talking about how there was a couple of pages that was posting a fact for every day of the week.
Oh, yeah. I haven't came across that page yet.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I still follow it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that vividly. Like,
really?
Yeah, because you were like excited about it. I was like, yeah, they're going to be posting little facts every day for 28 days.
I was really excited because it was youth participating. Like, there was the youth recording and the stories and stuff. So I thought that was great to, like, keep that generation informed and informing their peers.
Exactly. Keeping there, because some people really just don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. I was just talking to someone about it yesterday. We were talking about civil rights books, and even though I only have like one true civil rights book, we were just talking about the different kinds of books, and the one that I was recommending, I can't remember what it's called. Shoot, I can't remember what it's called, but basically the concept of the book is people recollecting stories from around that time. So it's really good because it's just like, obviously civil rights era is so vast and we know about the big ones, but there's so many like little events and people protesting their cities, and people were sharing those experiences, and it's really good. It's really kind of not rough, maybe not with the word, but it's dense, and it just offers a lot of perspective because you don't really think about like the one that stands out to me is the I Am a Man protest, which is talking about like the sanitation workers, because I think they were trying to unionize at the time because they weren't getting treated fairly. So the propaganda they were pushing was I am a man, but that also got adopted by like the other black people, because a lot of black people was working in sanitation at that time. I think it was in like Tennessee, and it became like a bigger thing for the civil rights movement. On top of that, as after it pushed past the union, was like, no matter what, whatever career, whatever, like how much you make, whatever, at the end of the day, I'm a man.
Right. And
it was really dope, like, to them talk about it from that perspective, because like how like something that was started off as like unionized turned into like a bigger thing that was like dope.
Bigger movement, yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Black History Month. Stay educated, y'all. Learn something new this month. I'm not saying learn something every day, but at least learn something new for all the people. But how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I've been sleeping again. I haven't been sleeping again. So last night I got a little bit more sleep than.
What's a little bit?
I got so all week I've been going to sleep between like 2 and 3 a.m.
Okay.
But last night I fell asleep around 11, which is my ideal time. If it's not 9, 11 at least. And so I got a little bit more hours. So I feel a little bit better.
Do you?
But I'm still going to look forward to go home and go to sleep after this.
You finna go to sleep after this?
Yeah. I feel like I'm catching up. I feel like I'm always playing catch up with sleep lately.
Catch up with sleep always cracks me up. For real. It just always cracks me up.
Really?
I just never understood the concept of catching up with sleep.
Until your body feels more balanced, you know?
Me, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be tired tonight.
But then I'd be tired for days.
And then you actually go to sleep.
And I catch up on those hours.
Even then, I remember it was a guy I followed, and he did this like weird experiment. It wasn't even weird. It was an experiment about, do you need 8 hours consecutive sleep, or do you just need 8 hours of sleep?
Probably just 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah. So he said he would, in the middle of the day, he talked about, it was it was like a productivity thing about getting 2 days. He could turn 1 day to 2 days by sleeping in the middle of the day. So he would get up, go about his day, and then he'll sleep for 4 hours in the middle of the day, and then wake up again, and then go about his day. And he was like, and then like sleep for another 4 hours at the end, towards the end of the day. And he was just like connecting and seeing how he felt about it. And he was saying like he felt no difference in energy levels, but he said it was just like harder to schedule around sleeping 4 hours in the middle of the day.
That makes sense because everybody else is up.
So, but he was saying like, they're basically saying like, yeah, you can, as long as you're getting the amount of sleep you need to get, whether you take, because that's another thing people do. People take the 2 hour siesta and then sleep the 6 hours instead of, whatever, which that was the lifestyle I was kind of living. Like if I got off at 12, I'm sleep from like 12 to 2, and then I'm up again until the wee hours of sleep until I wake up early in the morning. So yeah, I just wonder like, you try and catch up, but it's like you just get the amount of sleep in at the time you need to get to sleep in.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it's pretty interesting. Sleep is always one of them things that people love, and it's very interesting.
Yeah. I love it, but I feel like I don't get enough of it. And I feel like my body needs more of it.
Maybe you need to get more relaxed. Drink some tea. Take a bath.
No, I'm not taking no more baths.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
No, we're not talking about that. No. I definitely need to get down like a routine again. But yeah,
maybe do a face mask before, so you can get you just be like, or get one of them compress masks, like the one that cover your eyes, but it got like the little heat or the warmth.
I have a compressed one that's like weighted a little bit, but I'm so sad. I got rid of my 2 good sleeping masks. One I had for like years. I got rid of it because I don't want to get into that, but I got rid of that one. And then I had one that was cold. And my sister has the same one as me. And I think she switched them up a few times. And I was like, I'm just going to throw mine away.
Why?
Because I don't want to keep getting them switched up.
What's the matter if they switching up? It's different?
I just don't like it. So I might get another cold one, but it's
you just don't like it. Wait, I'm confused. What? Because what you was worried about?
I just feel like
put it in the freezer.
Yeah, they were both in the freezer.
That means you don't even got to worry about bacteria because in the freezer
I don't know.
it kills it.
It just felt weird, so I'm just gonna get a different color next time if I get it again.
Y'all are funny. This is America, baby. We throw away masks because it don't feel right.
It felt old too. I had it for a while, so I was like,
You sure you even threw yours away?
Yeah, I know it was mine. Yeah.
So you knew it was yours, but you couldn't tell if you was.
No. I feel like she was taking mine, and then I realized she was taking mine.
So she couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put like something on it?
I could have. But I was like, I just get another one.
Okay. Consumerism. This is supposed to be the person who against consumerism. I just want y'all to know she's against consumerism.
I had it for years. It was like I had just got it.
It was still good though.
It was still good. Yeah.
About how long you had it.
But the length does count. Okay, I'm not buying one every year.
Type shit.
Yeah, I saw that come across my timeline this year. It's called Pan 25. So basically, the girlies are switching up, and they're supposed to be using up all their products this year and not purchasing new products, like purchasing new makeup, fragrance, body scrub, stuff like that. And I did not realize people had rooms full of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I was so appalled watching these videos. And I'm glad that it's a trend, but hopefully it's like an actual lifestyle that people start taking up, because like the videos I've seen were insane. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
No, yeah, man. Especially like with cologne, because I'm big into cologne. I don't like to purchase it. One, I don't have the space to collect all of them.
Yeah.
But at the time when I did have my little collection, I would have like 5 or 6 bottles and still be thinking about the next one I want to buy, and I'm nowhere done. Like I just now finished 2 bottles. I finished I ain't gonna tell you the name because I'm a gatekeeper. But well, no, I'll tell y'all. Polo Blue is a classic. I got my Polo Blue that I finished, so I'm gonna be working on getting another one. And then there's a Calvin Klein one that I really like. And then now I'm working on my Dior Sauvage, which is also a classic. But I have another one that I'm not gonna talk about. But and I got a few that I'm gonna get that smell really, really good. So I'm excited to get those. But I get it from both sides because like sometimes you want to switch it up. Like hair product is a little bit different because I'm like, why would you be switching up your hair products all the time unless they do different things? But like makeup, I can kind of get it. It's like one day I might want this palette, but this palette might be a little bit different and do a different effect. So it's like I kind of get it, but I can see where I can get out of hand where it's like, dang, I keep buying new palettes and never finish a palette. So that's a pretty interesting journey for those people. I hope. I mean, they probably gonna save a lot of money. There's
this one guy I might follow along with because he put out all his perfume and he marked them like this is January 30th and I'm marking it and I want to finish these 6 bottles, and so he's gonna show each week them going down and him using them before he like.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think his will be interesting to follow.
Yeah, and that's maybe that's what people need to do is get them a signature scent.
Yeah,
which can be tough, especially if you don't want to jock everybody's steez. That's why when you find a good one, you got to keep it to yourself. I'm still working. I got one that's kind of my signature, but it just don't got enough weight. I mean, as far as like I got to re-up in the middle of the day. So I'm trying to find one that's a little bit more weightier, but we'll find out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to find your signature.
Well, I'll consider that one my signature.
I know, but I'm like, for folks, I think that'd be a fun.
Oh, yeah, for them. Yeah, for sure. You don't got a signature?
I have 2 that I really like. One of my best friends stole one of them, so we both wear it.
Now, that's annoying.
Yeah. I wasn't that
bothered. Smell them?
But we carry it different because like our own like natural scent. So I think we still, I don't know.
That's different. I mean that's true.
But I don't think I want to say it's like my signature. People might know me because of it, but I still want to make my. I think I want to go to like a place where I can make my own and put it together.
Right, extra.
I'm an extra person.
Why don't you don't gotta do all that.
I just go mix some stuff.
Yeah. Like I've gotten into that, like learning how to mix fragrances together.
Yeah, I love layering.
That gets fun. If you,
I know that my whole life though, layering.
Well, a lot of people don't think about it because a lot of people will layer the same scent over so that we get a stronger, longer scent.
Yeah.
But knowing like which ones mix kind of good will have you like, dang, what is this? Like,
don't worry about it.
I couldn't even give you the recipe if I wanted to. Y'all look at me like I'm crazy. That's another reason why I also like lightly scented soaps or non-scented soaps because I like the way that perfume and stuff like that smell. Same thing like kind of like with detergents. Like I like Gain, but Gain be too strong. Have your clothes smell.
My head hurt.
Have your clothes. You used to be smelling like Gain all day, which is not a bad thing. But it's like if you want to throw some cologne out of it now, it's like you mixing Gain with cologne. Like that sounds crazy. It's giving gym.
My stomach turn.
Make my stomach. I mean, it's cool by itself.
I don't like it by itself.
I prefer Tide, specifically like the fresh linen Tide, because I feel like it's light. It don't really hold that long. That's the same thing like with them fabric softener. You gotta be careful too with them, because them things be strong, but they make a difference, man. They really do change the game. For real, because I stopped using them for a while and I use it again. Dang, this towel feel different. This towel feel different after what they use the bar, but I don't want the towel to smell like this.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. It does feel nice, but I don't like how it smells on the towels. And I'm just like, all these chemicals just going on my open pores on my skin.
Not my open pores.
That's one thing that I unfortunately would never give up is like body lotion and sprays and stuff. Like I know it's not good for our skin and like the stuff going into our bloodstream, but I just love it too much.
Yeah, listen, I'm not here to live a long time. I'm here to live a good time. I'm gonna put some scented stuff on now. I don't care what nobody say. Get sprayed on the wrist. Wrist gonna just have to be crusty when I get old. But yeah, I know you said again we're checking in for a little bit, but I know you were talking about some stuff about Popeye stuff like that. I wanted you to kind of get into it. Are we still checking in? I don't want to get lost.
Right. So y'all, the other thing that came across my timeline this week was, of course, the Popeyes Adon Julio, they drop in a collab, right? And so Popeyes has been trending, and it's just like, people have they take or whatever, like, oh, black people don't get caught up, they try to trick us, whatever. But then Popeyes started trending for other reasons soon after, and I was just like, what's going on? So the first video I see was this guy saying like, that man didn't get fired for butter and no biscuits. And I'm just like, what? Like, what is, because he gave no context. And so I'm just like, now I got to figure out what he's talking about. Went down the rabbit hole. There's this guy on TikTok. He makes content of him at Popeyes. He's a manager. Well, he was a manager. And he made content about like his day on the job, whatever. But he also makes other content at home, whatever. So he has a video of him buttering biscuits on his shift. And it's a little extra, but it ain't insane. Ain't nothing I ain't seen before. Like, I didn't think it was that, inappropriate. And apparently he claimed that's why Popeyes fired him, because of that particular video. So I'm just like, I guess, like it was, a little edgy, but I didn't think it was something somebody should get fired about. So I was like, let me go back, look at some other people's videos. They're like, no, y'all, like, it's not because of the biscuits, y'all. It's not because of the biscuits. It's because of the other content. I said, let me go back to this man's page. So I went back to his page. He has content of him clapping his cheeks. Just videos and videos and videos and videos and videos of him clapping his cheeks in the camera. Like, directly in the camera. And it's other videos of him making food and stuff, like, various, like, is it like seductive, like speaking or whatever? So I was like, this adds up more. This adds up completely of why they fired this man, because it wasn't just because of the butter and the biscuits. Oh God! So that was interesting on my timeline. The comments didn't fail, of course, because it's TikTok, and it's just insane comments about like, why you had us on here worried about you, because he made 2 videos trying to like get people to like support him and this and that, and they're like, you guys over here worried, and we were like, you put yourself in this position for making this kind of content. There's like, they were embarrassed to have you as a manager at the establishment, and apparently Popeyes had commented on the original biscuit video and deleted the comment, but I don't know what they commented. I didn't get to see the comment.
That's so interesting. I mean, listen, I don't know how it came across your page. I did not. She explained to me about the Don Julio Popeyes at first, which I just thought that was very niggified. Listen, Don Julio's a great brand.
Right.
Popeyes also a great brand. It was not on my 2025 bingo card for them to collab together.
Right.
I mean, I think some people might be excited. What are they making?
I don't ever know. Like, it's just like a drop. Like, they just announced it. I don't even know what the meal gonna be.
I gotta do some research. Y'all know what they drop, and please put it in the comment section. But I mean, I guess I'm gonna see. But I'm like, to me, it just don't sound like especially Don Julio is like a tequila. You think it would be with something more attached to like Hispanic food or something like that. But I guess they was tearing up Don Julio with the Popeyes at one point.
I never knew.
Hey. Y'all know y'all analytics, so let me see what y'all got, I guess.
They were like, this makes sense to put together. This is what they do it.
But with the guy butter and biscuit, I was just confused. I don't even want to look it up.
Don't you don't need to.
But
traumatizing.
It's I just stuff like that where I'm like, I get why TikTok getting banned. You know what I mean? Like some days I'm like, man, they really finna ban this app, and then I hear stories like that. I'm like, you know what? Black people, not to Tony Ceviche, but yeah, that's nuts to me.
Yeah,
like, first of all, why did you go down the rabbit hole? Like,
because I was just like, wait.
That's what I'd be confused. Like, at what point was you like, maybe I should get out of this? He's like, no, I'm gonna keep going.
It was because so the first 2 videos I popped up was like him just like being seductive while explaining like the food he making. So I was like, I've seen that before. I don't like that type of content. So I'm like, but it's not new content. Like I've seen people doing that before with their food. But then I kept scrolling and it was just like cheeks on cheeks on cheeks on cheeks on cheeks on cheeks on cheeks, and I was like, now he shouldn't have told where he worked at. Should have showed where he worked at. No, and you a manager? Nah, you should have kept that off your page. You got yourself fired. You know what kind of content you was making.
That's so funny. Well, I'm sorry that your week. Well, I'm telling you had a good week until you ran into that. Shoot, the way you giggling, you might have enjoyed it. Not like that, but
no, I didn't enjoy it in the sense of like, yeah, like let me follow, let me subscribe. Like it was enjoyable because everybody was on the same page. Like, Now we know they
It
did
was
not
a
fire.
community.
Yeah, it was a community experience.
Everybody with the people getting together like, y'all see what I'm seeing?
That's exactly.
Y'all see what I'm seeing?
That's exactly what it was.
That's so funny. Well, I'm glad you had a good week.
Yeah.
You know, I had a good week as well. I had a pretty busy week, but one of the two things happened this week that I really want to talk about. Honestly.
Okay.
Two things. One, yesterday we went to go get Korean barbecue. Had a great time.
Yeah.
Food was good. Shout out to Jen over there in Arden. So a kind of like pseudo tradition after we eat Korean barbecues that we'll go for a walk and usually walk to Barnes and Nobles. There's Barnes and Nobles down the way. So as we walk to Barnes and Noble, normal situation, nothing crazy is happening. We walked into Barnes and Noble. Somehow the whole world just shifted. I make a left. The way you walk to the Barnes and Noble, and there's the new books on the left side. So I'm looking at the new books because it's a book that I already know that I want, that I'm beelining towards. I'm like, let me just go ahead, go straight there. We get there. As we get there, we hear a commotion of this guy talking to the barista. I just hear the sound. I'm not listening to this guy at all.
Not tuned in. I don't know what he was talking about.
So I get my book. I'm like, I'm getting this book because it's green. I don't got no green books. Literally, that's what I'm saying. And as we walk in, he turns around from the register at the barista and goes, these guys probably know all about it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, AI. You probably know everything about AI. And I'm just like, first of all, for people who don't know, people like to talk to me a lot. For what reason? They just openly start talking to me like I invited them in, but whatever. This is just the life that I live. So this is a low-key, a normal thing for me. Turns around. This guy probably knows all about it. And I'm like, what? AI. I said, I know a little bit. You better know a lot about it. Because if you don't learn about it, AI is going to kill people. So already when he said that, I said, yep, checked out. Already checked out what you're talking about. And then he goes, you think that after that he would immediately go into what he's talking about? He then looks at Ariel and goes, can I take a picture of you? And she goes, no. He said, see, she's smart. Because if I took a picture of you, I could have did this. And shows his phone, and it's like a picture of that white guy from Cheaper by the Dozen and Scarlett Johansson, two pictures of them side by side, and then the AI makes them kiss. I could have did this. You see this? You're not going to be able to believe video evidence ever again. It's nothing's going to be true no more. And you know what? This is going to get somebody killed one day. Somebody going to think they cheating and get them killed. People going to lose their lives. And I'm just like, as he's saying this, I'm just looking at him like, dang, that's crazy. Why do you have that on your phone? And he an old man.
Old man.
And he old because he got the lanyard. He got the lanyard phone. So his phone already was facing us, open, unlocked, with the lanyard on, just sitting there showing everything anyway. So when he pulled it up and was showing, and he big. Look. Hard tapping the phone. It's like, man, just don't got no grace. Look at this. He keeps showing Ariel. No, he showed me and my other friend Richard. He showed us twice, and he goes, look, and she just like, oh my god.
No, my response was ill.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, yeah, now she goes, ew. I mean, and then she goes, I mean, I'm not like, it's just
because I was just like, why?
why do you have this on your phone?
Right.
Mind you, I'm nosy. Nigga, this is in the camera roll. You got this saved. You made this. Yeah, man, y'all be safe. I said, yeah, gotta be safe. Mind you, after the interaction, you would think there's a period of grace, a grace period where the people would just, I won't use the word leave you alone, but the people would just give you some space.
You would just think that was like the one encounter for the night.
Nope. Literally, what, 32 seconds later?
30, like we stepped 3 times maybe. Max.
Like we literally took like maybe like 5 steps, and on the 3rd step we look at each other like, what is going on? And as soon as we did that, we turn around and one of the workers at Barnes & Noble walks by and goes, he just started talking to us random. Like, I think it was like, like the casual, like, hey, how's it going?
Oh yeah, he asked us like, oh, how do you guys find anything okay or something like that.
Yeah.
Something very regular customer service.
We're like, He's like, yeah, you find everything? I was like, yeah, everything's good. Thank you. I was like, man, I wish I could just lay down right now with some tea.
That's what it was. He asked, he was like, you guys find everything? You guys doing all right? And we're like, yeah, we're doing all right. We're good. He's like, you asked him like, oh, you doing good? He's like, I wish I could just lay down.
Yeah, so it's my fault.
Yeah.
I be asking about how people doing. That's my problem. See, this is the problem. Now, see, look at, I need to know this stuff, so I need to know what not to say next time.
That was his response.
Yeah.
To how you doing?
How are you doing tonight? Yeah. And then he was like, man, I'm tired. I'm ready to go home, lay in my bed and drink some tea, maybe a beer.
Yeah.
Maybe put on some Saturday night cartoons. And I'm just like, listen to him. I said, what, huh? I didn't expect much, but I'm expecting, the basic, like, blah, blah, blah. He started going in about that. And he started having a full conversation about it. And we just like, okay, type beat. Yeah. Nice.
He talked about the concert he had planned for today.
Yeah. He was supposed to go to a concert in Oakland, but the friend canceled. But it's good because the concert was $150.
Yeah, he said they weren't worth $150.
Yeah, they're not worth it. So I never really double checked on it. So I'm about to enjoy my Saturday off.
Yeah, but before that, you asked him like, oh, you have tomorrow off? He's like, yeah, I have tomorrow off. And then that's why he told us about the concert. So it's partially you.
It's me. But the first guy wasn't me.
The first guy wasn't.
But the first guy is also me because I entertained him. See, it is me. I'm the problem. We see how we adding up? Like, I can't not be friendly. That's the problem. What they be saying? You be out there entertaining them? Yeah. This is what they mean. Now I'm starting to get it.
Yeah.
I be out there entertaining them.
Yeah. He told us everything. Like, yeah, I went ahead and kept the day off, even though like we're not going to the concert no more. And I was like, yeah, that's good. Enjoy your day off. He's like, nah, I still got to send some gifts.
That's another Christmas
cards I forgot about 3 months ago.
Yeah, he said, I still ain't sent my Christmas gifts out.
Yeah.
He's like, my family probably upset with me. And that's why I stopped talking. I was
like, I started looking at the other aisle because he started talking about, oh, they probably upset because at Christmas he didn't have their gifts.
Yeah, they gave him gifts.
Yeah, but he didn't have their gifts for them.
Yeah. He hasn't sent them out yet.
He told us all this, y'all.
Bro,
all this.
After we just had the interaction with the AI
we weren't even able to process
the first guy.
The first guy. We literally did a circle, looked at each other like, y'all, like what? We walked 2 steps and this guy came over and we're just like, I'm overstimulated.
After just eating, we eat Korean barbecue, so we full. I maxed out the tank. I low-key could have ate a little bit more, but I maxed out the tank. Like they're supposed to eat till 70%. I probably ate to about like 85, 92.
Okay.
I had a little bit more. I had one more round in me, but Richard's plate was looking big, and I'm like, we're not about to get charged the excessive food tax.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was looking at that too.
We only had the one short rib, so I was like, let me go ahead and I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that even threw me off. It just had me dead. And then he ended up coming back around, and then he talked about normal stuff like books. Yeah, the books. Like we're in Barnes & Noble. We're talking about books now. I get it. But yeah, that I guess I realized I'm the problem. I was just because I was really like, I don't get why people do it, but now it makes sense. I be asking too many questions. Open-ended,
follow up,
I need to start hitting people with the, are you good? You good?
No.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, okay, yeah, for sure. I'll catch you in a bit. Stop asking like, how are you doing? Why am I asking you, how are you doing? I gotta ask, you good? Sure. Stay up.
He probably still would have been like, nah, man, I don't want to go lay down.
Man, am I good? That's the question. People start really getting his bag. Start getting his bag. That's funny.
I haven't had a day off since Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Hey, them people be killing me when I run into them folks. Let me ask you, because again, obviously, that was that. Do you ever run into interactions like that often, or is it rarely?
I talk to people talk to me, but it's never to the point of like they really just like spilling out their rawest guts to me. Like not very often. No. Interesting. Yeah, it used to be like pretty shallow. They might tell me a little bit about their day, but never like that. Like no.
Dang, it might just be me.
Yeah. Dang, you just gotta embrace it.
I'm the problem. How do I keep? Is this a negative?
I don't think it's negative in a sense of like
what is it like? Let me ask you this,
because I don't feel like it affects you like
It don't affect me
badly, you know.
But am I gonna be that person where like if I get married, like my wife don't want to go to the store with me?
I mean,
I might be that guy.
my sister's the same way. Like we go out and people just chat it up with her, and me and my brother-in-law got used to it. It's just like we know when we go to the store with her, like that's just gonna be what it is.
But like, is it like one of the things where it's like how do y'all just stand there?
We like sometimes I'll stand there and I'll engage with like, oh, okay, kind of like how we were all just kind of standing there like, oh, okay. Sometimes I dip off, come back, she's still in the aisle. We're like, okay.
Is that so? It's not a negative, so I don't need to change.
I don't think it's negative, especially from the other people's perspective, because like,
oh no, they living their best life.
Yeah,
they excited.
I think it's good to have people in the world who actually are attentive to strangers. Like you might make a really big impact on someone. Like, dang, no one asked me how I was doing today, but this customer did, and I was able to, talk and have like a regular conversation. So I think it's a gift.
Well, I mean, I'll say on tangent of that then, because I also had another interaction that wasn't a weird interaction. This was just a normal, I would feel like a back and forth.
Okay.
A less vent session. Where I went to Temple. I went to Temple Coffee. I'm sitting there. I'm about to start doing some video editing. And if y'all ever go to the Temple, any Temple mostly be packed, but the one that I go to is jam packed to the gills. And I mean, it's like people everywhere. It's barely, you can't, if you want to get a seat to yourself, you got to come early, and it's not, I get off at 5, so I'm not coming any earlier. So I get there, get my coffee, I'm looking for a seat, and I'm low-key looking for plugs. That's the main thing. Like, I need to be just in proximity of a plug. Even if I don't need it right now, I'm going to need it.
Yeah.
So I go, and there was a guy named Matt. Shout out Matt if you're watching. And, I just kind of sat there. We sat there, and we ended up just having a conversation. And then, it was a great conversation. But then at the end of that conversation, I had like a somber thought. I'm really unk. And I'm not even 30. But yet I'm unk.
Why do you make that conclusion?
Because we were talking, and he asked me for my advice. He asked for my advice in the sense of like, he's like, yeah, I'm like, I can't remember. I think he was like 23, 24. And he was like, yeah, like, how was it like when you was like in my position? And I'm like,
3 years ago?
I'm like, I'm still in your position. I haven't fully trained. I'm still in that phase of life. I'm just on the end of that spectrum, maybe, but
yeah,
it's like, and I was telling him like stuff that people said to me that really helped me lock in and helped me like learn certain stuff. And as I was telling him, I said, dang, I'm over here spitting gems. Am I unk? Am I over here like, yeah, my the real estate lady, she told me this. Shout out to City Bauer. She told me this, and this really changed my life. And then I was watching this speech by Warren Buffett, and he gave me this word. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, why I'm saying it like I done been through so much life? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm only 20. I'm literally 27 still. Ain't even hit 28 yet.
Oh.
So I'm like, but I was just sitting there thinking.
A few hours.
So I'm just like, dang. So I was like really like grasping that concept that I'm unk. Because again, my little brother's been calling me unk for a minute. Obviously, they're like 14, 15. Well, now like 15, 16. So it's like, they've been calling me unk. I've been called boomer by like 21-year-olds when I was like 25. No, I wasn't even 25, like 24. Boomer. You boomers. So it's like, for me to still be a Gen Zer being called unk is making me feel a little bit weak. Even though I'll consider myself a millennial, technically I'm a Gen Z / millennial. I'm a Z-lineal. And I don't know. That's something I was coming to terms with being, I guess I'm unk. And I'm trying to embrace it, but I'm like, it's weird for me to embrace unk because I'm still the youngest person in my groups. We had this morning I went to a men's group, and everybody is way old, not way older. I mean, not disrespecting them. Everybody definitely older than me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, 27. People like, I'm about to hit 40. I got kids. I got this and that. And I'm like, I'm like here with y'all.
I'm not here with y'all.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do in career, low key.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I guess I gotta accept my unk status, and I think I'm gonna embrace that style going forward too. Like how I dress, I'm gonna dress more like unk. I'm gonna get some sandals with the Sandals with the ones that the clamshell ones, the barbecue sandals.
Yeah. You gonna wear socks with them?
Of course.
Socks with sandals. What?
I ain't heard that forever. Might have to learn how to barbecue.
Yeah.
You know, can't be Unc if you don't know how to barbecue.
Right.
Get my sandal game up. You know, I'm just really trying to tap in. The only thing I won't do that my uncle used to do, or the people who was Unc in my life, I'm not gonna get into the black and milds. But that was a thing when I was younger. Like that was like an old man status. Like the black and mild in the ear, still in the plastic. So I might just get one to keep in the ear. Maybe not smoke it, but just keep it.
Get a toothpick.
I don't like the toothpick though.
Get the Bluetooth.
I got the Bluetooth now. I don't know if y'all ever see my McDonald's headset. If anybody who ever called me, anyway, we get it. That was how my week was.
Okay.
It had me. I'm just learning a lot about myself, I guess.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Wuzi. If you're enjoying this video so far, please do me a favor and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us out so much and lets us know what videos you like so we can create more content like it. So if you can go down below, like the video, hit that red subscribe button, I'll really appreciate it. Now let's get back to the video.
Well, with 2025, we have new things, but we also getting rid of old things.
Yes.
And your boy Daddy Trump got rid of something crazy lately.
Yeah, a lot. But yeah.
But I cracked up with that. I cracked up when he got inaugurated. He had that big old list that he was signing. It's not funny, but it was funny because it was like he sat down and was like, I said, what is this? Because it looked like he gave autographs, but obviously he autographed something else.
Yeah.
So I think he did like some crazy amount of executive orders as soon as he signed in.
They're like, this is not what executive order is supposed to be used for.
For real, it's supposed to be. But one of the things he got rid of was the DEI, which, again, I don't think I'm qualified to really get into like the legislative side of the DEI and how it affects things at all the different levels. But I wanted to speak to it because we both have different experiences with DEI in our businesses.
Yeah.
Ariel has actually experienced what it would look like in a positive form. I have never ever seen it enacted in my businesses that I've worked in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not saying it should go, but I'm just saying I didn't even know it was like, I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know what it looked like until Ariel shared like, yeah, we did this and that. I was like, man, no one to help anyways. But I kind of want to talk about our experiences with DEI. So
Yeah.
I want you to kind of go first because you got actually a plethora of experience with it.
Yeah. So my experience, I come from the nonprofit public sector industry. And so I don't know if I just lived in a bubble this whole time, but I thought these things were being implemented like throughout like different industries, but I guess not, because I've spoken to a few friends, including you, and it was like, yeah, it's non-existent. Like it was not ever mentioned in my workspace. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. But for me, like the position I was in for a little over 3 years, that was the organization I experienced the most with, because I started in 2020 where everything started making that shift. So it was new to them, but they were intentional about embracing the newness and trying to educate themselves and, you know, go about things to implement the DEI initiative into our organization. So I was telling you, the HR lady, she's older white woman, didn't understand, but she just knew like this is a thing, and she was doing her best to be equitable in how she approached different things. I loved our HR director. So they rolled into a new position, which was a director position. A Black woman was hired into that position. She oversee we called it IDEA. She oversee the IDEA department. I got moved into the IDEA department, so I worked directly under her. So a lot of it, I think it was heavy on the cultural side of just recognizing different people's lived experiences, backgrounds, and creating spaces for us to embrace the differences that we have amongst each other. And also, since we were serving the public, you know, we served a lot of diverse clients too. So it was good for us to have this background information about different cultural differences and how people communicate, the different disparities that they're experiencing, so we can better provide them like safer, equitable services. So it made sense why I guess they were super like no, this is what we need to shift into especially because of our clientele. But I feel like it was done also for employment. They had spaces I feel like was beneficial for folks. Just learning about different things. As far as like equity as financial or like pay rise, they also tried in those areas too, raising pay, being transparent about those things. So I feel like I thought that was happening, like I said, I thought that was happening in all workspaces. Like,
oh baby.
Yeah, I was very naive. So when I heard about the DEI rollback, I was like, dang, like people are going to be siloed again, and they're going to be like in echo chambers because they're not being exposed to other cultures and ethnic groups and different experiences that people are, going through throughout their various identities and stuff, but not realizing like that wasn't being checked to every industry or every community or whatever. Like, so it's just like how much of impact was it making outside of the public sector? Because I knew, especially in art, like we live in a state capital, so it's like I feel like that kind of made a difference too, being directly in the public sector too. So it's just like I got the privileged side of the experience of this initiative that others never experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I won't really go into what happened. It just didn't exist. And like,
yeah,
as far as like what my business looked like in the interactions of HR now versus after. I mean, I couldn't even, like, if you didn't tell me DEI went away, I probably would never even knew.
Yeah.
Just experience, you obviously see the news ever going away, but for me, it was non-existent. And even during the pandemic, even right before the pandemic, when the George Floyd stuff was happening, no, it was during the pandemic when George Floyd happened.
Mm-hmm.
Never experienced it. Never. I remember it seeing getting signed in and stuff like that, but yeah, this didn't. Like I didn't like it. Didn't change the business at all. Like yeah, like they'll like put stuff up like bringing like some information, but like not like other than that it was nothing, no different.
Yeah.
But one thing I did want to like to kind of like, because again, the whole point of me bringing the conversation is to have the conversation,
right? Because
I can't speak for all people. I can only speak for my experiences and people in my life. So I kind of wanted to just ask you, like, especially since you've had the experience of DEI, like, did you feel like it was, because DEI stands for diversity,
equity,
was it equitable inclusion or equity inclusion?
Equity and inclusion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you feel like it was achieving that in the business that you worked for?
I think it made progress for sure. Like I said, it really created spaces for people to get to know their colleagues and understand their clientele. So it made for a better collaborative environment because we understand, like, because people come in with different biases, different trauma, different whatever, and like learning about them in a human way and not just like, this is just my coworker, I think brought a shift in the work environment overall and how we work together and how we provided services. So I think it was worth investing in. It was worth introducing. It was still a work in progress. It was new. So like it was just like them trying to see what would be best for the clients and the employees. So I think it did make a great impact. And from the people that I was, like my colleagues and stuff that I speak to that were regularly going to these different spaces that were being available, also felt that it made an impact and it was beneficial for them. I feel like it was worth it. And I feel like it was very new and still at the beginning, and it could have been, developed even more, because it's only been 4 years, almost maybe less than 4 years. So it's just like you just got rid of something without knowing if it was really gonna make a huge shift, Yeah.
Well, do you feel like 4 years was a good trial period, given that the statistics that we kind of had some statistics that we went over, where they were saying like, I can't remember the position they created. It was like chief diversity officer.
Yeah, chief of diversity.
Yeah, like they had that position in like 70% was white people, and of those white people, 50% of them was women, and another 50 like it was a majority white women. The other 50-something% or like 40-something% was white men.
Yeah.
So majority position was garnered by white people. I think the next biggest demographic was it Asians, and then black people were 4%.
Yeah.
And then Latino was also like 4% as well. So they was talking about basically like for this to be pushed, there wasn't even diversity in the leaders who ran it.
Yeah, who was introducing the initiative and everything.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, did you feel like the 4 years was enough? Like, do you feel like it would have? I know you're saying like if we had more time, we might see the change. But given what results we got from the 4 years, was that like how did you feel about that?
I was actually kind of, like I said, y'all, I think I was just naive. I thought what was happening in I thought that was happening across the nation. But it also didn't surprise me too much because of our nation. But I think I'm just so, I realized our city and even our state is much different than the rest of the United States. And I was naive. I really thought that what I seen in my meetings and because I've gone to a lot of public hearings because of the work that I do and just being engaged with across the sector, I seen people in that position who weren't white and who weren't, who were of a BIPOC community. So I just thought that's what it was. It's like you go to the people who know the people best and use their expertise in their lived experience to develop these programming and these initiatives. So I wasn't shocked because I'm like, okay, I know the reality of the United States we live in, but I was just disappointed. Like, dang, like I guess only California got it right for the most part, which is, that's right for a lot of things.
Yeah,
we get it right for most things compared to other states.
Yeah,
but yeah, I wasn't shocked. I was just like, dang, like I really thought I was I thought I would be more able to or receptive to recognize like this isn't the norm. But for some reason I was just like, yeah, this is the norm. This is what it is.
Winning.
Yeah, we winning. Like, so I think I just acknowledging how naive I was like, dang, Ariel, like what? Looking at the statistics, I was like, that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, and again, like I would say this, like DEI going away, I feel like is a negative for sure. Only because right now it's being weaponized and being used in a way as like they had to hire people because again, it's not just race. It's also like, if you have a disability or, like I said, gender is also a role that plays into it. Like people were making it seem like we got a quota. We got it. Like people kept thinking it was a quota system. And it's like, I've always appreciated when I learned about football, where there was a Steelers coach who would interview he would make sure he interview at least one black coach. And they ended up making a rule that if you're hiring for a position, you have to interview at least one minority of that, for that position, which that's how I picture DEI in my brain, where it's like, it's not forcing companies to hire people like this, but it's forcing companies to at least go and give these people this opportunity. Because again, if you're a white guy who's only raised around white people and it's time to interview, you're going to be gravitating to the people that you recognize, the people that you are drawn to. But by having policies that force you to at least interview other types of people and be open to the idea of them filling that position,
diversify your candidate.
Yeah. Then that will lead to more people doing XYZ. And granted, it's not perfect, but that's why with when they got rid of affirmative action, that was the big thing. Is like, there's no way you want me to believe that affirmative action was a quota system where we have to. It's like, no, y'all have to consider more candidates that aren't just white, because we live in America is not like, is it majority white technically? Well, actually, I think it just went over. I think now we're majority, like white people are still the majority, but it's a minority majority now. The minorities outnumber white people, which is still a crazy statistic when you think about it.
It's ridiculous.
So yeah, it's just interesting, like seeing this go away and this, how people were grasping the concept about it.
Yeah.
But what that I wanted to ask you, like, because you said something, I don't know if you said it today or when we had a conversation about like some of the people who were able to take advantage of the resources, learn stuff that they wouldn't have learned basically outside of work. Yeah.
So like I said, I guess we were a gem, a unicorn, but there was spaces being created where, if a major event happened, that was, a person of a BIPOC community dying at the hand of police, or, there's different things happening across the world against people of color, right? There are spaces created for folks to come and express themselves, just to sit, hold space, say what's on their mind, ask questions. And I feel like people wouldn't do that outside of that space being created. Like, I feel like people would not go home, well, for the majority, because there are some people who are intentional about that, but for the most part, the majority will not go home and be like, let me find a community center, or let me find a church, or let me find some type of meeting or space being offered for me to bring these questions to, or get insight about this incident, or get insight about this culture, whatever the case. Most of the time people get off work, they worry about they school sometimes, if they're in school, their kids, their spouses. They're not going to make time outside of like their world to intentionally go and seek these resources a lot of the times. So having it available in a workspace where they're already there, they're already on the clock, and it's not like they're taking away their lunch for them to come attend. Like, they're being paid to learn about other people at this point. And they were getting paid to take advantage of these spaces because they're also getting something beneficial about it, because it's not mandatory. It wasn't a mandatory thing. You show up when you feel like you need it and you had a desire and there's something you want to get out of the space. So I feel like that was a benefit of it too. It's just like some of these people would not have been educated, if those spaces weren't created, because like we don't always have the capacity to educate ourselves outside of work hours, So I thought that was one of the benefits.
Yeah, and it's important, like you said, the voluntary part, because that was a thing that some people, I guess you could say, got wrong, was they were making these meetings mandatory. And they showed statistics that we saw too, that when those meetings became mandatory, black managers went down, Asian managers went down, and Latino managers went down when those meetings were mandatory. But when the meetings were voluntary, we actually saw increases in those numbers.
Yeah.
I think the only number that stayed the same was black women. That stayed the same. So it's just like, even that part too, like or it's just, maybe it just need a restructure, not removal.
Yeah. Because we think about mandatory, it's just like a lot of times people
show up.
Yeah, I gotta show.
Something to do.
Yeah, they like, I might have another meeting that I have set at this time, or I have paperwork to do, or I got a client to see. And then on top of that, it's just like, a lot of times it's just like, y'all try to teach us about us. Like, we know our struggle. We know what we've overcome. We know that what we still dealing with.
Especially imagine that feeling when you feel like somebody got it wrong. They trying to teach you something.
Even like, you never know. You like, so it's just like, I see that point.
That's what y'all think we want.
Right. Like, you never did consult us. Like, and then on top of that, it's like, if a manager's in a position to lead these meetings and it's mandatory for them, it's like, dang, like, I'm carrying this on my back because I'm the only black person in the department, and now they want me to be the voice for everybody, BIPOC, everybody, So it's just like, I think adding an extra load too. So I think it's just
especially like the mandatory
various factors.
The mandatory part means like, you have like, obviously if your job was that, you have to do it as well. But when it's like, we gotta make sure everybody's at this meeting, you really going, like, you might not be interested in something and you got to figure it out, which is also, I just think about like the school effect. Like, man, I don't want to care about writing this essay about dolphins. but I got to because it's due on by Friday. So I'm about to write a little fake essay about dolphins that's generic and don't really get to the nitty gritty. Yeah, it's really interesting. So, I mean, keep your ears open on it.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there. I mean, there's a lot of businesses getting not shut down. I'm not gonna say that, but like, it's a lot of people who are affected by this. You know, especially on the business side. And like with that, obviously, one of our topics we have is Tabitha Brown.
Yeah,
she spoke out about it.
Yeah,
which, you know, everybody was pushing her to speak about it because Target was one of the companies that announced them getting rid of their DEI program. So, you know, she made a video, and from what I understood in the video, make sure y'all go and watch it. She was basically saying, like, with this happening, this is like a gross, very, very gross, like, summarization. She said way more than this. But the thing that we're going to talk about, because someone else addressed it, was her saying, don't boycott Walmart and Target. Just go in there and buy black products.
But she didn't technically say that.
She didn't say that verbatim.
Yeah. She just said, you could do what you want with your money. You can spend your money where you want or don't spend your money where you want. She was like, I'm not telling people to continue spending in this establishment. But if you are going to continue spending your money there.
Y'all are.
Right. At least buy black and brown brands, products. You know, that's what she was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously that rubs some people
a lot of people, which I was not expecting.
Why not?
I don't know. I just like I seen her video first, right? Before I saw everyone else's video. I said, dang, like this happened to Tab, blah, blah, blah. And I felt for her. I was like, okay, like, you know, I get what she's saying. You know, like if you're gonna go to these stores anyways, make sure you're boosting these brands that are owned by BIPOC people. I'm like, okay, you know, like that seems like a valid message, you know, given the context of everything going on. But then after that, I just started seeing like so much backlash about her. I was like, and people saying they didn't F for her from the beginning. I said, I didn't know that community existed. I thought everybody liked Auntie Tab, but I guess not.
Like I said, that's one thing about social media. People be saying they hate. People who be hating still be fans. So it's like, yeah, like I remember. This is a random tangent, but what was that? This is a black guy that's on TikTok with glasses and a beanie. What is his name? I can't remember his name, but I feel like if y'all know who I'm talking about, he's like one of them people kind of like Mecca, where he'll go and talk about like kind of give like think pieces on certain stuff.
Okay.
But he smart dude, black dude, wears a beanie, glasses, like wireframe glasses, stuff like that. And he was talking about how he really loved his haters. He said because, you know, they be hating, but they'll come up and comment and watch every video.
Yeah.
And it had me dead because I really be thinking about like, damn, they really do be like,
they be committed.
You be the most supportive one. Y'all be the most supportive. Y'all pay to come to an event just to share y'all piece. Like, interesting. You know what I mean? Like, but with the Auntie Tab thing, it's like, you know, for them to have that much vitriol for what she said, it's like, again, I feel like she gave a pretty well-rounded answer. One person made a video that we're gonna reference.
Yeah.
Do you got her name?
She goes by Neighborhood Hero.
Neighborhood Hero.
Yeah. Shared
a take, and I want to say this before I talk about both of them. I think no one has a wrong take. I don't think Tab had a wrong take, and I don't think this lady has a wrong take. Specifically in the conversation of having a conversation.
Right.
I feel like Tab shared her perspective, and it made sense. And Neighborhood Hero shared her perspective, and it also made sense.
Yeah.
So basically what Neighborhood Hero was saying was that when she was younger, she was taught by her father to kind of go into white culture and learn the culture so you could bring it back and apply it to black people to put them on and become more of a power.
Yeah.
Which is smart. A lot of cultures do that. That don't be just white. It just be like a lot of culture. That's just the thing. Go learn this so you can bring it back here and we can
adapt it for us.
Yeah. a lot of countries do that to America.
Right.
So what that she was talking about how she didn't like she was with Tab up until that point, and that this is the wrong with businesses, black business sometimes, that we're not willing to take the L, and just no, we're gonna pull everything from the shelves and take the L, stuff like that. And I feel like I really understand what she's saying, but I just feel like I just wish it was that black and white. And I'm not here to defend either side really, but just really like think about all angles. So like when I think about the anti-tab part of it, we talked about it. As somebody who's never done like full scale inventory, but I've like seen my boss, I work for a company that has inventory in 4 cities and things like that. Not to mention like just our inventory, but like also inventory on different people's shelves as well. The amount that it costs to buy all the stuff in the space to store what we just have, let alone what everybody else got, I couldn't even imagine. So like I understood Auntie Tab's spot where it's like I can pull from certain stores and like stop orders, but there's no way I can pull from every Target that I have my stuff.
Yeah.
And then store it. And then she also will have to make a website if she don't got one already, and then create that new infrastructure, and then also having to go on social, like, kind of like
hire people to package things, send things out.
Yeah, she would have to create a whole new business when she's only like a few years into her own business. So I understood like from her perspective, like it's not to mention she's probably more established. There's other brands that we don't know the names of that are also in there that probably don't have that means to do that as well. So from that perspective, I understood Auntie Tab was like, hey, we gonna pivot, but until we pivot, this should be the move.
Yeah.
But from Neighborhood Hero perspective, I understood it because I've seen it where it's like, no, if y'all say this, okay, we gonna suffocate y'all. Essentially, what she talking about, like we gonna strip it and everybody gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
The thing I would say is I just don't feel like we have that infrastructure as black folks.
Exactly.
Like there's like, I've talked about this not on the podcast, but many, many times with my friends, like to sit there and really, I remember one time I was just driving down the street in Fresno and I'm like, so there's a Indian grocery store. There's obviously the main chain white grocery stores. There's Hispanic grocery stores. Did I already say Latino?
Yeah.
So it's like that, and then the Asian markets and stuff like that. So there's all these different kind of markets, but there ain't no black markets. And then when there is like black like markets, it usually be consumer, like clothes, stuff like that. But like we don't have like a market where you're gonna go and like find a bunch of black soaps and food and stuff like that. I'm not saying they don't exist, but there's no like, at least where I'm at, I don't know a brick and mortar that I can go and consistently go and get that type of stuff. Like I can go on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But there's alternative for other nationalities. And I was just thinking about that a long time ago. Like, dang, we just need to do better. Like, why don't we have, Dr. Umar talks about all the time. Like, we don't have, what's some things that he call them? Dang, I can't remember because he always talking about banks and stuff like that. Institutions.
Institutions.
We don't have institutions as black people. So I understood that perspective. Like, because we don't have that, I can see like why it could be harder for a business person to be like, okay, I'm gonna take my stuff out, and then what? We all gonna create our own individual website, stuff like that. Like, which again is definitely definitely something to do. But she is right that some people who are more established are afraid to make that move.
Yeah.
Where you could have been like, no, we don't support it. I'm gonna take my stuff. Y'all holla at me and I'll send you stuff. But other people might not, So yeah, I was just bringing that up just to like ask the question of like, I don't know, what's your thoughts like on both takes? Because you the one who brought them to my attention.
Yeah, because
I knew about the tab, but I didn't know about Neighborhood Hero.
Yeah, all the backlash and Neighborhood. I feel like hers was the most well-rounded take. The other ones were just like
hate.
Yeah, hate, people just talking outside their neck. So that's why I valued hers and I wanted to show hers in particular to you. I like you said, I get both sides. Like I saw another creator talking about like the pivoting part, right? Like these brands don't have an infrastructure to house their stuff and anything. So they're like, they have, I think it was like a 3-year contract for most of these brands. So it's like they have 1 year left. Like give them this 1 year to pivot and transition into developing their own infrastructure. But they still gonna need that income to come in to create that infrastructure. So I get where Tab is coming, like, y'all, like if y'all go into these stores, let's just feed our pockets and
be intentional.
Yeah, be intentional, like so we can have some type of revenue to pivot and build our own infrastructure with. There's been other takes online like, oh, there's 600 plus brands that people have been sharing are Black owned. You can purchase from these brands to get like your household necessities, body care, which is great too. I'm glad that people are speaking about this and making it more awareness around these Black brands that we can, purchase from instead of purchasing from Target and Walmart. But that might overload them. We don't know if their infrastructure is set up for millions of people to start purchasing from them, especially so rapidly. So I'm like, that can fold too. Like that may not be such a beneficial thing for those brands either.
You start buying too much and they can't meet orders, and now you writing bad reviews about something that
exactly, and then they gonna go under. So it's just like we have to find like kind of like a happy medium in a sense, which I get. For the neighborhood hero, I get her stance too. She says she has I think it was a Mexican market or something, or Indian.
Oh yeah, she got a little.
Yeah.
She said invest in like other people of color markets.
Yeah, like instead of going to Target, go to the market up the street that's owned by a local or whatever. And we were just like, we don't live in neighborhoods like that. Like I think in this neighborhood, there's a lot of like Mediterranean type markets around, halal markets and stuff, which is cool. But I live in a very suburban majority white neighborhood, and not even American white, like they other type of whites. So just like all we have is a Target and a Walmart and Whole Foods,
big old shopping center.
Yeah, just a big old like cookie cutter franchise, full of franchise shopping center type of thing. So it's just like I would have to drive 35, 45, sometimes an hour somewhere to get go to a Black store or a store that's a BIPOC community, right? So it's just like, could I commit and be like, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down and I'm gonna put extra gas this week and take the extra time to go to these stores? Yeah, but is that realistic? Like long term, is that sustainable? And so it just brought like, not everybody have that privilege to be in a diverse community where there are other options, right? So that was one thing I had to say. But I did like her take around, like sometimes Black people aren't willing to take a L. Like sometimes we do come from a selfish place of I gotta look out for me, I gotta look out for me and mine, right? And I feel like we do get caught up in that a lot, and it has to come to a point where just like, when are you going to sacrifice for the greater community? Because we even talk like that's not Tab's only income or her only branding or business or whatever. It might make her the most money potentially because she has like 6 different, I guess, products in Target alone, like from her journals to her kitchenware to her cooking books to her seasonings. She has done a recipe, but like I said, that's through Ulta. So it's just like you have other things going on. You got your YouTube, you're an actress, you have your kids show, you have your kids books. So it's just like, could you take a bit of an L? But then we have to think about those other Black brands who aren't Tab, who doesn't have as much awareness of Tab, who doesn't have as many other revenues coming in. And Target might be they big break, this their first thing that really is bringing a revenue in for them. So it's just like, y'all could be mad at Tab, but like this has also affected other people.
Well, and my big thing too is like, and this is not to put this in, when I say this is just to broaden the scope of what we talking about, because I don't say this in a way of condemning my community. But it's like, we can't be mad at Target and Walmart and all the other stores that decide to get rid of DEI, Home Depot, Lowe's, all that stuff, because we got comfortable at this point. Like, we should never have been able to be put in this position in the first place. Because you again, like in my hometown, there's a place called Vallarta. You think Vallarta care about DEI getting removed? No, we go to our Mexican market anyway. Like, I go and they speak Spanish, they understand. They got my cultural food and stuff like that. So it's like, again, I'm not trying to and again, it's easier said than done. That's actually one of my goals in life, is to start like a grocery store. I don't know if it turned into a chain, but I do want to start a store. And like, we saw people like Nipsey Hussle, who in the hood had the fish market and stuff like that. So like, we know the idea's been out there.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, like, as much as I can, like, I'm like raising my fist at DEI, I do realize that we just have a bigger issue at play. And why would I, and no disrespect to all my white homies, why would I expect white people to do what's best for me? Just like we was talking about DEI in the first place. It was 70% white people. How am I going to think that the people who in charge, the people up there that's white, gonna understand what black people need? Don't we always make the joke? There was like a thing going wrong for a while. Like, I'm tired of people trying to tell black people what they need and what they want. James Baldwin talked about a lot of times. He was doing interviews right at the civil rights movement. Like, why aren't black people people will ask him now, white people on TV, why aren't black people happy? They got equal rights now, this, that, whatever. And he said, black people never wanted integration.
Right.
They wanted equality. And what we got was integration. The difference meaning black people just wanted to live their happy life and do what they do. Because at the time, again, Black Wall Street and stuff like that got burned down. And that's the most popular one. But all of those types of things, you hear about the freeway being built over black neighborhoods that was prosperous and killed the neighborhood and stuff like that. Like, all these things happen when black people was minding a business. And what we got as a sorry was like, well, you can come use our stuff. One of the critiques I've heard about the boycott, the bus boycott, was that not only did it hurt the white bus companies, there was also black bus companies that got boycotted too, that ended up losing their business. That could have been an alternative instead of just boycotting them all.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, it's like, yeah, this going away sucks. The people who support it showing their hand. But at the same time, I don't know. I wasn't fooled. I mean, I didn't live in La La Land like, man, but America finally starting to fuck with black people. Like, that's never a notion that I really felt in my heart. So yeah, like with this is just, again, like, I mean, I've seen some people one dude in the comment section, and granted, he probably didn't mean this way, but had me days like, the white people better be careful. They finna have white people, they finna have black people, you know what I'm saying, take their own business to them and invest it in themselves. And that's how it should be. And that's how we should be doing it. Like, we should be investing more into creating institutions that serve us. So
Yeah.
if from this I don't see black grocery stores and more black stores pop up, I would be surprised. But it needs to be a thing anyway. Like, we need the black version of Target.
That was part of the conversation too. Like, people are just like, oh, if you stop shopping these brands, it's going to show them like, oh, like they're not worth investing in. Like, it's not worth having on their shelves anyway. Because look at this, like they're not selling. Because
white people still majority, they're still going to show up. White people going to show up to Target yeah, black people have a big consumer power.
Yeah.
But we still not the majority. We 14%.
Yeah. So they were saying that like, oh, they're not going to want to work with black brands in the future. And people are just like, what do we have to prove to these people? We shouldn't care if they're going to support black and brown brands in the future. Like you said, we should just be creating our own institutions and infrastructure to do this. Mm-hmm. So I think that came up a little bit. I feel like it wasn't talked about enough in this conversation in particular. The main point. Yeah, in particular, but some people were getting to that point too. Yeah. Yeah. So, but maybe it's a good thing. Maybe
I think it's a good
we
thing.
wake up and we started moving a little different, you know. So
like I said, again, that's always been one of my things where if I ever get on, and I ain't even talking about on like people be like millionaire. I'm talking about like just give me a good situation to be in.
yeah,
I've always wanted to open a black-owned grocery store. I don't know what it would take, but I'm willing to learn because it to me it just makes the most sense. Like, imagine a grocery store you can go to where you're not getting profiled. You know what I'm saying? That just sound fire to me. Just that alone does already sound like a win. Like, I go up in here and everybody black or majority people black, and you know what I'm saying? I'm already up. Like, so I go in there, I can ask somebody what I'm looking for, and they know what I'm looking for. I remember one time, I'll never forget this, at Save Mart, I brought my boss, I worked at my family restaurant at the time, so I brought him some chicken, yams, greens, and mac. You know, basic plate. I was like, yeah, I was wanting to bring y'all some food from my family restaurant again. Appreciate y'all for giving me the raise. I got a promotion. I just wanted y'all to try it, whatever. Brought it for them for lunch. They enjoyed it. And one of my bosses, shout out to JMC, he had me dead because he's like, man, Najjar, I just want to tell you, those greens, they were so good. And I wanted to ask you, I know on our shelves we got glory greens. Are those the same? And in my head I said, JMC is so white. No, glory greens is not the same. And it's stuff like that where again he didn't do nothing wrong. Right. I mean, it was an honorable question. I was telling him, I said, glory greens is if you don't have nothing, I guess cool, but like the process they use to make greens is way different. Yeah. But he so it was just like one of those things where it's like imagine going somewhere where people understand like
what you're looking for, what you need, it's already there.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fire too to have like instead of having like a chicken counter, like you gonna have to have a chicken counter. A chicken counter is classic. Like also having like a little section where you can have some hot food, like you can go to the grocery store, get some oxtail. Y'all gonna steal my idea. I can have it. Just let me know. I can pull up. I come support. But yeah, that was the thing about DEI. But on like, I was about to say legacy. On like on the concept of like, you know, like keeping it in the community. Yeah, bro. You know, it's funny. When I was having the men's group today, Richard was leading part of it. And he goes, you know, the word I was thinking about this week, legacy. I said, oh gosh, I'd be dead. But like on that concept of like kind of like keeping stuff within the community, one of the big things we talked about a couple of weeks ago was recipes, and not obviously literal recipes because I've been trying to get the recipes from my grandma for a while.
Yeah. Did you see that guy crash out online about that?
No. Because grandma wouldn't give it to him?
Yeah, he was around your age. He was just a black guy. He's like, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of all the aunties, all the grandmas dying. I've been asking for these recipes for years. And y'all ain't gave me none. What? Now Auntie Shirley don't die? I ain't never had that recipe. Like, he was literally going on a list of all the recipes he was like asking for, and now all these people dying off, and then he still got the recipe. Real. I said, this is an issue. What's the point of gatekeeping in your own family? Like,
because you gotta feel like somebody gonna honor it.
Yeah, but just teach us, walk us through it. You know,
my
like
grandma's notorious for told me get out the kitchen. So I didn't miss a couple of things. Like you should know. I was like, wow. Every time I was in there, I asked a question. You asking too many questions. Go ahead, get up out of here.
Exactly.
But I remember I saw a video of a dude talking about why he couldn't date a white girl, and it wasn't because usually you hear something like, you know, color, like what? Yeah. It literally was about the food. Like I can't. Like I love the food, and I can't imagine dating another culture who don't know how to make my food. And like, yeah, I can make my own food, but I would like
someone to make it for me.
Yeah, so it's like I'm like, damn, I never thought about that.
There are some couples where they like really do their best to learn it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Which I don't know if it's gonna taste the same, but they do their best to like really try to.
I mean, it might taste the same because you know there's people in the South that could throw down too.
Yeah,
and they white as could be.
Well, that's a funny take though.
Yeah, but yeah,
I feel
him. But on the recipes thing, I was talking to a guy and he was talking about how this like again, just like not only the recipes but the trades are dying. Like,
right?
There's not that many mechanics who can actually. They know from a textbook how to work on an engine, but don't fully understand how it works to the point where you can just understand something like. Yeah. which I understand what you're talking about because, like, okay, you learn this system and how it works. So when you go to the next system, I might not have learned about the system, but I understand how it works on the general sense, so I can figure it out. People are losing that, which he said those people technicians. I don't call them. They know how to find what's wrong with it, but they don't know how to fix it.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool because I always see like these. My favorite thing to do is find an old mechanic because their techniques for how they do stuff be so funny. Because like nowadays it'd be like plug the computer in, use the computer to like have the injector squirt to see if the injector's working properly. This dude, I remember he got a water hose. He attached it to it a certain way to make it spray so he can check the pattern of the spray. So that way, if he didn't have a computer, he could still do it. And I was thinking to myself, I said, see, like they don't got niggas like that no more. Like people like that just don't exist because like people just really don't sit there and try to grab the colors like, oh, it's broken. Wrap, get rid of it. You know, but I and that's something I always wish that I was. I love being a mechanic, but it's never been like in me.
Yeah.
Like I love doing it for me. Like I used to be the person to take apart everything and like take stuff apart, put it back together. I might not be able to put it back together, and we gotta try again. But like over time, like okay, I finally figured out how to put it back together.
Yeah.
So like you know, I've done a few jobs on my own car and stuff like that, and be like halfway through, like I don't know how to put this back together and put it back together. Like it's working. So. But anyway, I brought it up because it was just like really get into that conversation of like, why do you feel like we as a generation, I'm 27 and you're 33?
33.
It's a 33 for her.
Don't add no A year on there. 33.
My bad.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm only a month in. Why we losing recipes?
Yeah, like why do you feel like, I know you kind of talked about that video, but like do you feel like that's the reason? Like do you feel like people just really gatekeeping, or is it like people are not interested enough? Like what do you think is happening?
I think of course there's a few factors. I think those are factors. People be gatekeeping. The other part, partially because of the honor thing, they feel like, oh, you're not gonna take this as serious, or you're not gonna do it as well as me, or whatever you're gonna man, working at that org that I just left, that's all they were. They were just holding on to stuff so tight. And we just like, we need to adapt. We need to adjust. Like, it's still going to have the foundational, like, cultural and, like, the impact that you want. It's just the values. We just need to make sure that it's sustainable and it's going to reach the new generation. We can't have the same thing going. It's not reaching the generation we're trying to reach, whatever. So things like that. But then also the lack of interest. I feel like we're so in tune with the digital stuff, especially, that like we don't recognize the value in the trade part of things. And I think I think those are the two huge factors. One, people gatekeeping and feel like you're not going to do it justice. And then two, there's a lack of interest in it because they feel like I'm just trying to make the quickest money, right? Instant gratification. So you see the likes, you see the follows, you see the money coming in. Even from like just the music side too, like people are just like, I like the shift that this generation got to explore more. Like, oh, like what are your natural gifts? Like, you know, you can sing, you can dance, you can write, you can whatever. But I also feel like we lean too far that way. So now everybody like, I just want to be an actress. I just want to do this. And it's like you said, who's going to be producing our food? Who go put the machinery together? Who, you know, all those things, which now they're like moving to AI and, you know, all that stuff. Robots and stuff. But it's just like, but who gonna put the robot together? Because I know engineering is still popular, but
the robot gonna put the robot together.
Yeah, like it's just like so many things unfolding all at once, and it's just like sad because I know you and I had this conversation too. Like, well, I'm a apocalyptic survival pose, you know, but
I'm ready.
I don't feel ready. That's the problem.
She's like, hold on. I didn't think it'll come this quick. Hold on.
Yeah, but no, I think those are the main two factors. Yeah. That's
a good, like, you talking about the interest and this gatekeeping?
Yeah.
I don't even, I even feel like about the gatekeeping, like, do I think it's gatekeeping? Yes. But I also just feel like as a culture in general in America, I just think we're just more busy than we ever been.
Yeah.
I think about when I was thinking about not too long ago when I was younger, I was like, man, I feel like when we were younger, like my mom had heck of time. And granted, things were cheaper, time was different, a lot of different things, a lot of different factors at play. But I like, even like I felt like my grandma like didn't have to work. And then I remember I got to a point where she had to go back to work and stuff like that. And I remember I was just like, or like she was working part-time and then she had to work more hours. Like, little stuff that you don't pay attention to. But now that we're in this space is like, unless your grandparent is retired or like those people have a lot of free time, I can see why it'd be challenging to really like do something like that if you don't value, even if you, like, not only if you don't value it as a person, but if they don't like value, like I don't see the point of like showing you the recipe, right? Like I just make it for you. But it's like, no, I want to see how you make that caramel cake so I can remake the caramel cake when I got kids. And a lot of times I feel like grandparents are better at doing it to their grandkids, but like mom to son or like you said, auntie to nephew, it's like, I'm not showing you that. And like, so I think I just think because we're busy in there, it's like, I feel like people be like, feeling like they have better time to do. The only reason I say that is because of what the mechanic stuff, that's what the mechanic says. Like, I would like to show these people this, but two things that would happen. One, it's going to take way longer. So if I need to get it done, that's going to take longer because I got to show you and let you fumble and bumble in it. But two, this is specifically on the career side, but I guess it could also kind of apply when it comes to the food side, is like, now by doing this, one, and this is not fully true, but people feel this way, like, it's like the value exchange. Now I lose value because I just showed you what I can do, and you gain value.
But I also feel like that's partially gatekeeping, because I want to be the one that they only can come to me because I'm the only one to know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I don't think that'd be the notion, because like specifically with the career side is like, I understand that if I show you how to do what I do, now they have to pay you more, and you will most likely leave because we can't match the pay.
Yeah.
And from a family perspective, it could be like, if I show you how to do this, what's the reason you might, not saying this is how people think, but this could be a theory. If I show you how to do this, what reason would you now come to me for that? Yeah.
That's especially with grandparents. They be wanting any excuse to see people. Because people don't be coming around like that no more.
So if I show you, if grandma show you how to make the fried chicken, you're not going to come over for grandma fried chicken no more when I say I'm cooking it. I'll make it at home myself.
Yeah.
Not, again, is it true? No, but it's a theory that maybe that's where that comes from. So I think the gatekeeping, there's obviously an aspect of it, but I wonder if it's from that perspective where it's like, I'd rather this be my thing, so that's where it becomes like a thing that y'all have to come to me for, and less more that, oh, I don't want y'all to have my stuff, because again, we all gonna die one day and like stuff like that. So yeah, I did have an interesting thing, like an interesting theory. I don't know if I think I kept it a secret about how I think it can be solved.
Okay.
Because that was my big thing, is like, okay, like this is happening. How do we solve it?
Yeah, what's a possible solution? Yeah.
I already think we got the solution. We don't just pay attention to it.
Okay.
I think it's YouTube.
Okay.
I really believe that. Because I was thinking about like, okay, all the recipes I learned how to do, where the fuck I get these recipes from? And a lot of them I get from like reading blogs and stuff like that. But I'm like, there's a lot of them I do get from YouTube channels, and not just like the big ones. But I'm talking about like, because we all love the Joshua Wiseman and stuff like that, and the Benjamin Babish and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like, I'll find like the little like 200K subscriber uncle, and that's all he do. He teach you how to barbecue.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was like thinking about like, that's where the recipes you get them from. Not everybody doing it, obviously, but like you was talking about the banana, like the reason why we don't know about raising pie, because ain't nobody trying to raise a pie. But you said, no, this recipe is actually out there of people showing how to do it. This is not a popular thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I personally think like, will we ever fully lose recipes? I mean, yes, obviously, like we'll lose specific, like this is what I do different to do it. But I think YouTube is definitely the answer, because not only does it just lives forever. It's going to go past generations. Because
it already is going past generations.
2008 it started, and now we in 2025, and it's like you watch somebody from 2008 show a recipe and you see how it remixed. Like I remember Richard's dad was talking about like, oh, I don't like birria in America because it's made with beef. I'm traditionally like it from goat. But at the same time, it's like they don't got the same. It's different processes in different places. So it's like that's the generation I raised. Like you can go in there and see how they make it with goat with the banana leaves, and people would do it in make the barbacoa in the ground and stuff like that. But here we got different tools, so we learn the recipe different ways, and then you can create your own recipe, which is even more cooler. So I feel like while we're losing recipes, both true recipes, but also even as a mechanic, like I've learned a lot from you as a mechanic from how to take off the front bumper. Just
gardening on YouTube. We talk about building our own houses. Someone on YouTube can show you how to do that.
Literally, I watched. I wish I had the guy's name so I could put it up here. But it's a white guy in Texas who built his house from scratch and showed every step of the process, why he did what he does, alternatives, why he chose what he does, and like things that to be aware of. And I was like tips that because he is also learning why he's doing it.
Right.
And I'm just like, this is the coolest thing in the world. I'm so sorry. But I feel like YouTube is the
YouTube University.
Like, yes, we still need to reach into these people and get that stuff while you have it. Because again, if you got your grandma and can teach you how to make dessert, banana pudding, classic, get it, write it down, put it away.
Yeah.
But if not, there's obviously there's an auntie that's on there teaching you how to make cornbread from scratch as well.
And something comes with being in the space with the person, because that's what I did. Like I brought this was 2022. I bought the recipe book. I got purple because purple her favorite color, and that's the book I've been using to put her recipes in. And it's just different being in the space because they get to tell the story. Like, I remember when I first made this, it was for this holiday, and this is who taught me how to make it. Oh, we didn't have this at first. We used this instead, but then this is more affordable. So we got the, you get to hear the story behind it, how it got introduced in the family, where they used to get the ingredients from, how they got to scrape up for stuff. And it's just like that. I feel like that's added value, being able to learn it directly from the person in your clan. But like you said, if you don't have that person, there's ways to go about it, from YouTube and stuff. So
for real, because even certain it's just a little key difference is finding out that so most people make when you make cornbread, how do you bake it? What's the vehicle? You don't know how to make cornbread. So the way that
I've seen someone make it, but I never made it.
Most people I see make the cornbread muffins now in that little pan, the little cupcake pan, or I'll see them make it in a little, like a bread loaf pan, like that.
Making a cast iron.
That's how I grew up in it. But a lot of people don't got a lot of people don't even have a big cast iron at that. They got little ones. My grandma got a big 12-incher that she says coming my way when it's time. She wanted to actually trade me right now for my 10 because I have a 10-incher, but I'm actually gonna get rid of that one. Get a bit. I got a little cheaper one. Please listen. If y'all like cooking, invest in the things that y'all bought. I bought a little cheap cast iron skillet, and cheap is a strong word because it still wasn't that cheap. It was just on the cheaper side, and it had a coating on it that I won't not allow. I try to wash the coating off, and for a reason that skillet just will not hold a seasoning. I put it in the oven multiple times, and maybe I need to just start over from scratch again and re-season it. I seasoned my flat top before and did a good job, but for everything this is not seasoning. It's been killing me. But she want my 10-incher because the 12 inches is too heavy. Oh, and it's big. You make cornbread in a 12 inch, you making big cornbread.
Yeah.
10 inches don't sound like that much, but when it comes to circumference, it's still a significant less amount of whatever you're making.
Yeah.
And you can cook eggs in it. But stuff like that, because again, it just adds a different, people don't understand, why I don't just make it in a regular pan. It's because it just cooked different.
Yeah, it cooks a lot.
Iron holds heat differently and evenly distributes it, and it be crispy on the outside, just like on the
crispy edges.
Exactly, I don't understand. But yeah, what's something that I want to ask you this before we get out of here? What's something that you feel what's a recipe that you feel whether it be an actual recipe or a skill or something like that you feel a family member has that you dang, I don't got?
I was telling you my dad does landscaping. I don't know nothing about no landscaping.
Is that something you're interested in?
I would like to own land and a home someday. I would imagine I need to know how to take care of it. Like I'm all into outsourcing. I don't mind spending some money to bring somebody in, but it's just something when you know you can do it for yourself if you can outsource, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's something, at least knowing the bare minimum. I don't know if it's I guess some people in my family, like my uncle, like he knows cars pretty well, but all my friends, well, not all of them, most of my male friends know how to work on a car, and that's something I always really like. I need to know something. I want to learn something basic with that. I can't think of I feel like my grandmother, my aunties and stuff did a pretty well job with like teaching me their different trades and like.
But you don't know how to sew. I
don't know how to sew. My grandma tried to teach me the regular stitch, didn't get it. Went to school, failed the class twice. So that's something that's be my primary thing I want to learn is sewing.
Nice.
I feel like I feel like that's just a skill I think I can use every day for myself, but also can make money off of, help others. Yeah.
Interesting. I know one. I'm trying to think of a skill that I don't. I know something that I do know how to do that some people not to say most people don't know how to do, but most people don't do is ironing.
Yeah.
I love ironing.
My mom and dad told me how to iron. We used to iron.
I really use the ironing board too.
But since I became an adult, I don't know how to be iron.
My mom, she had a little iron too, but she notorious for throwing her stuff in the dryer. She actually got my ironing board right now. Talking about, I'm happy let this ironing board has. I bet you are. I bet you are. Ironing boards, you would think it's such a small thing, but like so many people I've realized don't be ironing on ironing boards. Like, bro, it's such a difference.
Yeah.
It's just something different.
We always had an iron, but we have an iron board right now at the house.
Like the regular one or the one that come out the door?
No, the regular one. We didn't have one to come out the door.
But I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously it's just a bunch of food recipes my grandma got. Like I'm looking for the black ones. I'm looking for I don't even eat greens like that. I'm looking for the greens, the cabbage. We don't need grandma's mac. We can pass from grandma's mac.
Dang.
The yams. I feel like the world got mac down and my grandma makes good mac. I think my grandma actually made good mac and cheese. The problem that she just be using any kind of noodle.
Oh, and you want to stick to edible.
Like why did you throw bow ties in the macaroni and cheese today?
Ashley does that, but it'd be on an average day. Like she'll be like, I just want to make some mac and cheese. She'll eat whatever in the cabinet.
I'm talking about on holiday. You didn't put up macaroni and cheese with the penne noodles. Like do penne noodles hold sauce well? Yes. But I don't want to see the penne noodles in the mouth. I want to see the shells or the elbows, preferably the elbows, preferably the bigger elbows, not the little elbows. This ain't craft. But yeah, she got, stuff like that. And granted, I was blessed to work at a family restaurant. So like by proxy, I've kind of got the concept of like, okay, this is how this is made, or whatever, whatever. Like I never thought in my big age I'd be eating grits. And like 2 weeks ago, I said, I'm really craving grits. And I don't have to think about
I remember you was at the store. You was like, what's the difference between grits and what was it?
No, I was basically understanding what's the point of quick grits versus the regular grits.
Yeah.
But I guess the quick grits got something in it that help them cake up faster. But I went home, made me some grits, and it was fire. I knew how to reheat them. I had a good time.
Nice.
So like stuff like I'm just trying to think. It's just mostly a thing that comes to mind is recipes, barbecuing. A lot of my uncles can barbecue. Like one of my uncles can barbecue real well.
Yeah,
real well.
I don't
make ribs real good.
I don't learn that. I saw that somebody about that. I can't remember. But me and my girlfriends were like, we need to learn how to grill.
That's another thing. Making seasonings.
Oh, okay.
I know how to season, but I've never sit there and make a everything seasoning. Like that's something like when I think about my culinary journey, like one of my next levels is like buying spices and making my own spices. Like, this is my everyday mix right now. Boom, boom. And granted, it comes from him learning, it come from just learning other cultures and how they season stuff and then applying it. Like if I make Italian, I'm gonna use fennel, this, that, whatever. Or if I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna use this and that, whatever. So I guess it's kind of like research I need to do on my side as well, but I would like for that information to be passed along as well. Like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? why you put mustard on the pork chops before you season them.
So they could taste right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and granted, that's like something that's like burned in my brain. Like, I don't like when people like I remember Richard, his girlfriend told him like, yeah, when you season chicken, you put mustard on it. And he looked at me like, man, I don't know. She don't think she knows what you're talking about. I said, actually, your girl know exactly what she's talking about. Right. Like I didn't know she told you that. I said that make a lot of sense. So it's like stuff like that again, probably the main thing. I want to learn how to construct some stuff, but I don't think nobody like my uncle is a woodworker, and that's something I do. Wish he would show me more, but he don't be having the time, so I get it. So those are probably my two things.
Time's a factor. We're realizing,
especially nowadays when money's so tight. It's like you can't really. I mean, he's trying to do. I mean, yeah, especially when money is well, I can't take a day off to go work with you. And then money, like, are you gonna pay me for that day? And I don't be looking to get paid for the day, which is why it's important if you're young, take advantage of that time, because you can literally go and your life is subsidized anyway. You just gotta go and you help them out, like it's a double positive. So that's something I did take advantage of when I was younger that I'm glad that has benefited me in my life, my big age. I'm still a little age, but everybody else is my big age.
I was like, big age.
Well, I'm unk now. So I gotta start saying I'm in my big age.
Please stop. Why are y'all Asian people?
I'm unk. I ain't even 30 yet. I'm unk. And I'm a boomer. But I do got old soul. That's my fault.
Yeah.
I be acting like, what are you talking about?
You have your moments.
I have a regular cheese grater and a regular can opener, y'all. I know how to open. I was telling that to Richard, and we can get off this, but like I remember I was telling Richard too. He was like, "Man, we got a can opener." So you don't need a can opener. He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "We open cans before a can opener. Use a knife." And he was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I opened it with a knife, and I really was thinking about that. Like,
I'd be so scared.
What you scared of?
Of cutting myself.
Why are you using the knife in such a way? That's another thing right there. I don't know how to sharpen a knife.
Okay.
My grandpa knows how to sharpen a knife real well, and I don't know how to sharpen. I need to sharpen. I got some good knives I need to sharpen. Shout out to my sister Monique for giving me some knives, but I didn't learn how to sharpen them.
Okay.
That's when I need to take some time to learn, because they starting to get, one is like still relatively sharp, but it's starting to get dull, and I'm like, no, I'm struggling to cut meat. Especially when I'm starting to learn to like butcher stuff. You gotta have a sharp knife, or you be tearing the meat up. But anyways, thank you guys again for watching the Special Friends podcast. I'm your boy Wuzi, and
it's Eareoke. Be sure to follow me.
Follow her on all socials. What's she on socials?
Eareoke on everything.
Spell it.
Eareoke.
See, they wouldn't even know that.
YouTube, TikTok, I guess. Mainly YouTube, Instagram. Follow me. Spotify, yeah.
Tumblr.
No, I don't got no Tumblr.
Twitter.
Yeah,
MySpace.
I don't be on X. I don't be on there.
LinkedIn.
Follow me on LinkedIn if you want to collab.
AIM.
Connect. I did have an AIM at one point.
Hit me up on AIM.
Oh, follow me on Twitch. Yeah, I'm trying to build up my Twitch right now.
Without streaming?
No, I'm gonna be streaming.
So you try to build the following before you stream?
Yeah. So y'all know when I get on.
Cheat.
So y'all know when I get on. Get on my Discord so it can pop up and tell you when I'm live.
Feel me?
Yeah.
Reddit.
No, don't follow me on Reddit.
I'm trying to be in secrecy on Reddit. My Reddit name is literally completely different from my name, just for that reason. Like, it's not Wuzi anything.
It's not related at all.
I be in the trenches. But thank you guys again, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You're my special friend.